This is the
Now, I do want to just tell you, I think it's
with Cory Mosley.
completely ridiculous that you need to walk 4 to 5 miles.
Why?
It's completely unnecessary.
Well, why?
Why do you need all that?
Because that's how I stay this way.
Huh? And you're already wearing smalls.
Right.
So what, I mean,
worse, mediums.
Well, yes, mediums, yeah.
Well, it's also, I don't take anything with me. I take no phone, no music, no
Right.
nothing. I just, it's headspace, processing.
Gun?
Well, you know.
Okay, I mean, listen, right to bear arms, you know. So if you don't my rights.
We are in a right to
You
bear
never
arms
know.
state.
I ride my motorcycle with I definitely ride it with my
Oh, you should.
sidearm.
100%.
You know, because people get crazy out there.
Yes, 100%,
So,
especially on a motorcycle.
No, I'd get crazy back.
Want to know?
Glock it up.
Want to know that you are not alone.
Meet my friend Glock.
That's right. I am not alone.
We're not alone. And guess what? We are not alone because we are together and the Grow Business Podcast back in effect.
Yes, indeedy.
Good to be here.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Our listeners have been looking. They've been binging
Yeah.
on past episodes,
Right.
saying, hey, we need more.
That's right.
We need LG007. And folks, if you're just tuning in, if you're like, oh, a new podcast, it's not a new podcast. Lots of past episodes,
Correct.
but this is the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley. Oh, okay. Oh, we got saucy. And I'm joined in the co-pilot's chair, co-captain, first mate, first officer, chief of the boat. Like all my military, all my military terms. LG Logram, LG007 is here.
Voice of Reason.
It's good to be here, Cory.
That's right. Yes, and off to a good start. 2 minutes and 9 seconds in.
That's right.
Can he hold on and deliver for the whole episode? Willie H is here. Hit the buttons, William. We're going to see. He's sharp. He's been practicing.
He has been.
We
Yeah.
gave him some off-season time.
That's right. He had some
You
rest.
know, yeah, come back refreshed,
That's right.
fresh, baldy.
Right.
You know, just loosen up, shake it out.
Yeah.
You know, got him some training,
Got him some training.
put him on PIP. So let's see how that coachable, you know, coachable, tradable. Let's see how that works out. We've talked about that.
That's
Well,
right.
you know, we're in Q4. It is that
Yes.
time. So we're coming back, kind of like, you know, when the shows come back for like the fall TV comes back.
Oh, yeah.
And like if you watch a Law and Order or something, they come back. Hey, Law and Order's back. Double episode.
Right.
So we're kicking off
Perfect.
with a part 1 and a part 2.
Perfect.
So we're going to break this into 2-parters.
Okay.
And we are focused on helping you finish strong
Okay.
and also setting the stage for 2026.
Like it.
So we want to double up. We're going to talk about what are some things you can be doing. We're going to talk about 4 or 5 points in this episode.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a part 2 for you that will follow the following week and bring it all together.
Like it.
So anybody wondering why we're in the same clothes in the next episode, that is also the reason.
Yeah.
We just get that out of the way.
On the way to
You guys don't
100.
change clothes. Is this
That's exactly right.
like, yeah, like, come on now. Get out of here.
On the
You
way
know,
to 100.
Q4, interesting times, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you have people trying to have the end of year push. I mean, there's a lot going on. What I find interesting though is you can get different thought processes and feedback depending on like industry,
Yes.
but even just mindset.
Right.
I'm talking to some people now, they're bracing for a dead November, a dead December.
Right.
Like, they're bracing for these things.
Right.
And then I'm talking to people who have the opposite view.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, it's game time.
Right.
Like, I find that interesting that you can, you know, it's the classic, like, how can two people look at the same thing and see a completely different,
Correct.
or hear the same words and have complete different interpretations of
Yeah. 100%.
it? Do you know people like that? Are you experiencing any of that as you think about, like, even in your world, like, as people think about end of year goals and things of that nature? It's like, oh, you know, Thanksgiving. I mean, it's dead, you know, it's basically over. You know, Christmas is here. Everybody's just going to be focused on Christmas.
Well, I think a couple things, Corey. To your point, we did one of our earlier episodes. We did maximizing on the summer, and if you've got if summer's a high season for you,
Right.
then those people in the summertime are looking at the end of the year as their rest and recover period, right? They're like, okay, we've got the holidays, we'll set down, then we'll start to ramp back up in January for the coming summer or for April. Whereas I work in healthcare sales, and I worked in healthcare sales for a long time, and you get after Labor Day, kids get back to school, families get more on a regular schedule. And as you get closer to the end of the year, we start to see an upward tick in visits into the office,
Right.
and surgical procedures, and other procedures, because as you get closer to the end of the year, people have paid for their deductibles, have paid, have HSA accounts. So they've got these things that as you get closer to the year, those
Finally
expiration
gonna do
dates.
something about that hangnail.
That's exactly right. So to your
You mean
point,
his toe shouldn't be green?
not unless you were walking barefoot in the grass, right?
That bad.
So to your point, though, is there's very different perspectives. Some of it's based on your industry, some is based on what you're used to, some of it's based on how you think. Do you
Right.
are you looking for a reason to let off the gas? Well, this is Thanksgiving and Christmas can be a good reason for that.
Yeah, I find what I find interesting about psychology is that, I always talk about the idea that your brain's your brain's job, once you've made a decision,
Right.
is to reinforce that decision.
100%.
Right, regardless if it's the worst decision on earth. It's never, your brain's really typically, if functioning properly, not going to talk you out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
if it's like, I can't sell anything in December, it stinks, it's not it. Like, once you've said that and kind of committed to that idea, everything, it's the old, to a hammer, everything's a nail, right?
Right.
It's everything's going to fall into that. You're not going to convince somebody that wants to be, a grumpy Gus,
Right.
to change that. Now, of course, there are people who this is game time, right?
Right.
That ride certain seasonalities, right? This is, if you're the Christmas tree store,
goodness, yeah.
right? This is, this is game time for
Right.
you. So, there's those things. Or if you're running a gym, everybody knows what's going to happen in January.
That's right.
The resolutions kick in.
That's exactly right.
And then boom, that's Super Bowl for them.
Correct.
First of the year. So, but for everybody else, I think there's this kind of, it might be this kind of give up attitude or coast or whatever situation that I don't know. I think you're leaving a few dollars on the table.
I agree with you. And I think if you're willing to put a little bit of extra effort in, and we're going to talk about some of these things, what you're doing is you're distinguishing yourself from the people who aren't, because there's a lot of people that won't. So if you do, you're going to have less resistance and more opportunity.
Right. I like it. And that's the point. We got to take advantage of that.
Yes.
And, this is really everything to me always, as is about how are we getting positioned?
Right.
Positioned for growth.
That's right.
What part of the 5 pillars are you fundamentally looking at? If you're new to the show, we talk about these 5 pillars as featured in the Position for Growth book. It's my latest book. Available everywhere. Amazon, Kindle.
Yeah.
A few other places.
That's exactly right. And I recommend it.
Yeah. So we talk about that. We thank you for the 20. We finally shook the 20 out. LG kept trying to read it when he was here. Like, use the copy we've got. If you're watching us on YouTube, we got our book here. I've got the book there. He used to try to maybe read a couple pages before we shoot or whatever, and thought that he can read the book.
Right.
You're that guy goes to the library. Yeah, goes to the library and just grabs a book. Doesn't want to swipe it out or anything. Doesn't want to commit. Grab it off the shelf. Read a little bit. Then go. And finally, we just said you got to come up off the 20, buddy. Come on now, hit the link. Hit the link.
Exactly.
You watch Square. We take everything over here. Okay,
good.
Mexican peso, whatever you got, we take it to get to the 20. So we're talking about this, guys, finishing strong. So. It's almost, I like to think of this as like, the money and the momentum episode.
Good.
Like just in terms of that
Right.
piece. So I think let's start with, I think we should start with kind of like the mass, the people, maybe the part that people hate the most.
So I think you're leaving some on the table.
Yeah,
here.
go ahead.
Do we have a sponsor?
Well, we're not there yet. But
Okay.
yes, we do.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
All
we do.
right.
Don't worry. I got.
All right.
I got it.
You're driving. Okay.
I got it.
Right.
Bro, I got it. Don't worry. I got it.
The co-host, not
I
the
want
host.
to jump in. Yeah, you gotta jump in. You gotta know. Yeah, it said we want natural. We want natural there.
Perfect. All right. Sounds good.
But I appreciate the fact that you're raring to go. I appreciate the fact LG007 is in charge of announcing our sponsor and talking about our sponsor. So I appreciate the enthusiasm. A little early, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Well, we are talking about seasonal.
Yeah, we are. So let's jump into number one. You got to give them a little taste.
Perfect.
Then you come in.
Perfect.
All right. So many people's least favorite.
Okay.
Reviewing the numbers.
Yeah.
Ultimately not flying blind, right?
Right.
So tactically, what might that look like for you? It might look like, a 90-day profit sprint, what we call a sprint review, right? So looking at your top revenue sources, looking at those expenses, looking at some of the profit margins from Q1 and Q3. So it's almost like, what I'm encouraging people to do here is what I call stop, start, continue.
Okay.
So it's a stop, start, continue framework. So what needs to stop draining your resources?
Right.
What should start getting attention?
Okay.
And what's already working that must continue?
Okay. And
What we got? Nothing for that? That was gold
that
right
was
there.
magic.
Willie H., what you got? Nothing? He's choking. I demand a hit. Bingo. Oh my God. What?
Ooh,
See, and I can't see, this is why you can't gas people up too early. Because they think they're the clear. See? We gave him the 2:45. He made it 12 minutes before we had an incident. This is why. See, it's two schools of thought here when it comes to parenting and raising these kids here. Okay,
And you better believe it.
the soft touch. Oh, you're Johnny. You're good. You're strong, and everybody loves you. And then Johnny starts believing that. Then Johnny don't do his job.
Well, that's the incentive reward philosophy.
Well, reverse. You hold it.
Right.
I'm holding accolade. I'm holding any type of positive reinforcement to the end.
Right. Reward good behavior.
Yeah, you got to reward. I'm going to have to tweak this, obviously, over here. This guy's having breakfast. That's why he can't hit the freaking buttons over here. He's got granola in his mouth. All right, go ahead, LG. What are you going to say?
Well, I think the big thing, you said stop, start, and what was the last one?
Stop, start, continue.
Continue.
Yeah.
I'll go with the first one was stop. Throughout the year, we talk a lot about networking events and meeting people and engaging with people and filtering out, are they good candidates or not?
Right.
I think there are people on your list of clients and of your list of people that are doing business with that you want to do business with. And in the first 3 quarters, you're trying to figure that out and cultivate that. In Q4, if you're not already doing business with them, unless they've committed to some level of contract or giving you some level of commitment to work together in Q4, it's a good opportunity to put those people to the side and really lean into the people that you are working with already, because you can maybe add a little bit to that business. Maybe you add, as we close out the end of the year, if you've got a business that has inventory, can you incentivize somebody to buy a little extra inventory as they go into the new year because maybe they have some money left over?
Okay, now I want you to stop getting ahead.
I have ESPN.
Okay. Yeah. What did I send you the link? You might have too much you might have too much information.
All right, so stop talking
already
to those people that are buying from you.
Yeah. Well, you've jumped the gun as usual. This is my point. You've jumped. Everybody's out of control today. Okay.
We're all,
Willie H is choking over there. Doesn't know what 6 waves from Sunday. Do you see he's eating breakfast? Do you see him eating breakfast in the middle of the podcast? Do you see this? This is why I got to write people up around here. I don't understand. Having breakfast over the technology, now I'm wondering why there's granola leaking out of the soundboard over there. Little speckles. I was wondering what these little speckles are over there.
They're not sparkles. They're
Oh my goodness. Talk about post-meeting. All right. You were jumping the gun. Because number 2 is accelerate collections and cash flow.
Oh, good. Okay.
So you had started to talk about this a little bit, but tactically, right?
Right.
Can you incentivize early payments?
Yes.
With small discounts. Offer a buy now, pay in January promotion.
Right.
For loyal clients. I'm not sure, depending on your scope, you may not have the ability to offer that to everybody. But, audit your accounts receivable on a weekly basis. Assign somebody if you don't to look at those outstanding invoices.
Right.
And look at ways that you can collect that cash early.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially with small businesses where you're so busy focusing on what's next and what's next.
Yeah.
And sometimes you forget to get the money you already got.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe you send out an invoice. Maybe there's some things that are sitting out there. Make it a point to close those out by December 31st so that you can get them in this calendar year.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's and when you think about that, I think one of the smartest and most interesting things for a lot of people right now, and really my, opinion has changed vastly on this, is really the benefits of being inside of a franchise system where you're not trying to figure this all out, by yourself. And that's a great lead in to our sponsor. The new sponsor of the Grow Business Podcast.
Yes.
Tell us about that, Lon.
Well, this episode of the Grow Business Podcast is brought to you by Pecan Jacks Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen, now franchising nationwide. Pecan Jacks isn't just about handcrafted ice cream and artisan chocolates. It's about building joy, community, and opportunity. If you've ever dreamed about owning a premium dessert business with a proven brand and a loyal following, this is your chance. Learn more about franchise opportunities at pecanjacksfranchise.com and discover how you can bring a scoop of success to your hometown.
All right. I'm excited.
You should be.
I love it.
You should be right in time for the holidays.
And I will tell you what's so interesting is that, for 20 years, working with small business owners, there's so much pressure in the marketplace that, you got to start your own business, that's the only way to freedom and all these other things. But franchising is truly, to me, the only way you get to have the best of both worlds.
Right.
Because so many people are out there trying to come up with their concepts and then convince the market of their concepts when they really should be investing in concepts that are already working.
Right.
That answer the questions for them.
Right.
Voice of reason. I stole that.
You did steal that.
Swing it my way. Look who's trying to get out of the doghouse. Flattery will get you everywhere.
100%. 100%.
It's yes, give me his line. But it is such a powerful tool, and I'm really becoming a huge advocate now for that idea of coming into a system, not sitting around trying to figure out your marketing tagline and trying to and there's a lot. There's what people don't talk about is we lump things into small bit. Anything that's not a large corporation, we lump into small business. Right. But a lot of people out here have micro businesses.
Yes.
And we don't talk about that layer because we just, I'm a small business owner.
Right.
Well, some of you are micro business owners, which means that you're really not necessarily profitable or really making enough money in your business as a full-time endeavor, or you're full-time, but you're not making the dollars that you need to make. So, I find franchising so powerful. I mean, not just something like Pecan Jacks. It's a great franchise opportunity if that's what you're interested in, a brick and mortar, and you want to have a good time. I mean, the one thing I love about Pecan Jacks is no one complains.
Right.
Like, you own a full service restaurant. The steak isn't cooked right. The fries are cold.
Right.
No one really is
the club sandwich isn't really all that good.
Yeah, the club sandwich isn't really all that good. True story. But you don't really see that like in this ice cream, it's just a happiness moment. It's a joy moment for a lot of people.
Right.
So I just think, and this is even for our listeners that have businesses, what you're doing right now may not be what you want to be doing 3 years from now or 5 years from now. And it's going to be an opportunity. I'll save this for another show, but really taking a hard look at what you're doing, what you want your business to be, and if you're really getting what you want out of your business, versus looking for opportunity. And again, that could be if you're a coach, right, and you've been doing it on your own. There are great coaching franchise systems out there, or if you're a trainer or these type of things, there are great training systems out there that have been around and have foundations and prove to be effective and will allow you can leverage their brand and brand recognition, the Dale Carnegie's, things of that nature. That have history. So I love to throw that out there and shout out and thank you to Pecan Jacks for coming in, sponsoring the Grow podcast. All right.
Absolutely.
Let's do number 3. We're gonna do a couple more today. Okay. Refresh your marketing message for the holidays. Yeah. So shift messaging, you can shift messaging. Also it's a little different. You can shift from, selling to celebrating, right? Connect your brand to gratitude, appreciation, also year-end reflection. You can, thank you ads, social posts, spotlighting customer success stories.
Right.
Again, just another touch. Not everything is, as Gary V will say, not everything's a right hook. Right. Sometimes it's jab, 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 right hook. So, I think that's an interesting thing to look at how you tweak that.
One of the most powerful things, and we're both speakers, we both do messaging and do the podcast. One of the most powerful things for people in your brand for memory and to be memorable are stories. And sometimes you're sitting on these old stories that don't necessarily align with the holidays. Great opportunity to refresh your stories. You talked about customer experience, celebrating. How do customers use your brand or your products to celebrate? How do customers incorporate your brand or your products into the celebration piece? We talk about Pecan Jacks and his candy and brittle and gift baskets. Do you sell things that people can put together in a different way? Right. That can be used as a celebration, can be used as a gift, can be used as recognition, because your clients have clients too. So, how can you not just support them, how can you support them in supporting their clients? Yeah. And the holidays is a great opportunity to look at the stories you tell and the way you package and market, for sure.
This might be a guy I want to work with. There you go. Nope, I love all of that. And again, it just gives a fresh perspective. Like, particularly you've been hammering. Now you just, now we tweak it a little bit. Just really, and ultimately help people get over that barrier of, is this somebody that I can work with? Is this somebody or is this company? Can they solve my problem? Right. Fundamentally. Do they have the competency? So that message isn't always buy my stuff.
Correct.
So, it's a good value add opportunity too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Agreed.
All right. 4, engage dormant customers.
Yes.
So tactically speaking, right? We've all gotten, we should have, the best brands, my dentist is like, we miss you. Right. You got gingivitis. Right. Come, we want to protect your teeth, so tactically, right? The something as simple as a "we miss you" email or text campaign, combined with a special offer or a reactivation incentive. Right. Come back and save 15% off. Because now everybody should have a database. Yeah. Right. Whether you're a restaurant, you're in professional services, there should be a connection between your ability to communicate to someone post sale. Correct. Whether that is video, email, text, phone, kicking it old school, and calling people. I was going back through Apple's got all these updates and it's just sucking bandwidth. So my computer's screaming like, oh, you need to do this update, but you can't do this update with all this crap that you have in your computer. So I'm going through now, we're the biggest culprits many times are your photos, your music, like the biggest drags on video.
For sure.
So I was going through my photo album, 2012. I'm still in 2012 trying to clear things up.
Sure.
But I had these various pictures of old school notes that people had sent me from my Brooks Brothers guy back in the day.
Right.
And I pulled out, he's dead now. But,
we should have him.
Well, you see it and then you go searching, you're like, oh, I wonder what so-and-so's up to. And there's obituary.
Right.
I'm like, oh man, he went out in 2018.
Yeah.
So, but I was just reading these notes. I don't get these types of things anymore.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Now I think, I bought a fair amount of stuff. So I guess it called for a card. But I don't get that. You don't get that anymore, at scale. Mr. Smoley, thank you. It's great helping you and thing I can do. And, but a night and handwritten, not a stamp deal. It was him, writing that stuff out. Listen, maybe they have some assistant that does it, but I feel like it was him. I feel like that used to be a requirement in particularly retail or higher end retail, specialty retail,
luxury service.
Yeah, correct.
Right.
So,
100%.
but I don't, I think that's missing.
Well, this is a great opportunity, Cory, and help, make it tangible. There are people you haven't done business with in a year, get some cards, get some holiday cards and say, hey, enjoyed working with you in the past. Here's some things, miss you. Here's some things that we have going on. Love to talk to you about that. Whatever it is, figure it out with that message. But people that you haven't worked with in 6, 8 months, even a year, maybe even a couple years, maybe you've been in business for 10 years and you work with somebody for 4 or 5 years and they went in a different direction. It's a good opportunity to go back to them and say, hey, thinking about you, holiday time causes us to remember positive events and positive things. Enjoyed working with you. Love an opportunity to talk to you again about what working together could look like. Yeah,
no, I love that. And again, if you're some of that's a luxury, if you're in if you're in professional services, right? Some of this stuff you have to do in bulk. You're a State Farm agent. If you're good, you've got probably thousands of customers, right? So very difficult,
correct,
to execute certain things,
correct.
But that doesn't mean that you can't scale. Or what I love is just the old, how do you eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time.
Right.
So if you were writing, if you were signing 15 cards a day,
correct,
right? That math starts to add up,
correct,
right? So just something as simple as that. Now all of a sudden you've got 75 cards you've done in a week, in a work week.
100%. Yeah,
and then that adds up.
Well, to your point, it's not an all or nothing proposition.
Sure,
you can do it. If you only get to half of your customers or half of your former customers, that's half more than you'd have gotten to if you didn't do it.
That's correct.
So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And you don't have to worry about the people that didn't get it because they don't know, so they don't care.
That's true. That's true. That's as you should say about newspaper advertising. Oh, you got to change the ad up. Why? It's going to be new to the person that's reading it for the first time.
That's right.
100%. Right? So, and there's so much technology and tools. Back in the day, if you could use mail merge to drop the names in. Now there's so much more sophisticated. Right. So, from an implementation standpoint, as we talk about this tactic, personalizing outreach is so much easier to do now using actual customer data, actual loyalty insights, being able to say, hey, we haven't seen you since June 3rd, or looks like you might be due for whatever, or hey, you need new draws. It's time. Tommy John sends you an email how long are you going to keep those things, dude?
That's exactly right.
Your last order was 2023. I know our stuff's good, but hey,
but it ain't that good.
Might be time to recycle it a little bit.
That's exactly right. That's good.
So exactly,
it's so good.
Into the ground. Yeah, there you go. It's time to refresh.
Oh, man.
So just keep that, because even small touches can reignite relationships. The power of obligation is so huge. We were at a furniture store, and this woman was so good. We didn't buy anything from her as we were looking, coming up with some ideas, redecorating some parts of our house. And she was just so good that I have an obligation to buy something from this woman.
Sure.
I don't know what better way to put it. She was just so good. So like she was a true professional. She's been doing it for, over a decade.
Okay.
She was a true professional. Asked good questions.
Right.
Really didn't push, gave some space, made some suggestions.
Right.
And now I've used technology, nice follow-up email.
Very nice.
And captured the things we looked at, sent those. And again, technology assisted, right? Allowing you to do that. But like, there's an obligation. I don't know what it's going to be. I may go in there and get a vase.
Right.
I don't know what, if it's going to be a big piece of furniture or a big sale. But there's I have some type of obligation, my wife right now, to do some type of business with this woman.
You're connected to her.
Yeah.
Because of the way, the experience she created.
Correct. 100%.
Yeah.
So, and those are the situations where people love to say, people will pay more to do business with someone that they, I'm like respect, trust, I think gets beat up, gets like overused.
Right.
Because you can create, people buy stuff from people they don't like all the time.
Correct.
For the outcome or what it is. But, I'm going to use the word connected.
Yeah.
Like I felt connected. I felt obligated. I feel obligated in some way. And that is, I can say this truly and say, hey, if whatever we were going to buy, if I found it somewhere else for $50 more, I'm not selling out this woman
for
$50.
Correct.
That's why you are the best.
$500, she got to go.
Well, we might go back to her and say, hey, look, this is what I found. Can you work with me on this?
$500, we got to talk.
Well,
50, I'm rolling with you.
Well, and here's the thing. I talked to, I gave a talk recently to a group of sales professionals, and I talk about people remember how you make them feel.
Sure.
And that feeling is contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you just did was told us how you made her, how she made you feel.
Yes. Yeah.
And we get to experience some of that. And so not only are you going to go back and see her, you're going to tell other people to go see her because of that experience. And if I'm in a position where I'm looking for some furniture, I'm going to call you up and say, Cory, who was that? So I can go see her too.
Right.
It's multiplied.
Right.
Because of her professionalism and because of how she handled that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, let's get to the last one in our part 1 series.
Yep.
Reward and rally your team.
Yes.
So, tactic. Can you implement a, 30-day, 60-day Q4 challenge? Set clear team incentives tied to performance metrics.
Right.
So, what does that look like from an implementation standpoint? Well, you can start holding short weekly huddles to celebrate wins. I mean, I talk about Kathy in the book, Celebrate, Assess, Plan, Implement.
Right.
And create momentum going into the holidays. Because if you don't have a coasting attitude, then of course your people won't. Speed of the leader, speed of the team, right?
Right. Two things. We both have a sales background, and so we think about offering incentives to close what's already in your pipeline.
Yeah.
And that's valuable certainly for your salespeople and anybody who's involved in that. But on the operations side, sometimes we lose sight of that. Mm-hmm. Can you reward people for executing quicker? We've got a shorter window to the end of the year. Can you reward people or recognize and reward people for turning over a new client quicker, for for implementing a process quicker, for getting somebody on board quicker? And you can reward people internally for that and recognize them, like you talked about in Team Huddle. If you have a weekly newsletter, or if you have a monthly newsletter for your organization, you can use that to highlight people that are doing a great job. And that, again, incentive and recognize, right? You recognize the behavior you want to see.
Yeah. Make
a big deal out of it.
No, I like that. Well, there it is.
Yeah.
So we've looked at this. We, again, in keeping with these 5 pillars, right? When we talk about those, we talk about mindset, sales, marketing, operations, people. As part of that, if you look at these elements in part 1, we've got the elements where we just talked about people. We're talking about marketing. We're talking about operations and your numbers.
Right.
So really everything that you do when we're talking about process improvement really falls under one of those 5 pillars.
Correct.
And if you keep that kind of front of mind, front of purpose, I think you will always have the ability to find a solution, as we talk about we like to identify, isolate, and attack.
Correct.
To really bust through where you're trying to go. All right. Before we let you go, we have a power play.
Okay.
So this power play is something that we're challenging you to do before you get to the next episode. So this power play is a 72-hour revenue sprint.
Wow. Okay.
So most businesses leave money on the table at year end.
Yeah.
So what we're suggesting is a focused 3-day push to create immediate revenue or a revenue bump and spark some team momentum. Now, how do you do this? Well, identify 3 to 5 quick close opportunities.
Yes.
Old quotes you sent out, warm leads, existing clients with open proposals. Offer a small urgency incentive.
Okay.
Sign before Friday and we'll include X, Y, or Z. Make it fun.
Yeah.
Call it a 72-hour win challenge inside your team.
Yes.
Right? Put that on the Slack or whatever you use in the sales chat
right.
inside your team. Call it a 72-hour win. You don't necessarily need a new marketing campaign to finish strong. You need focused follow through on what's already sitting in your pipeline.
Correct.
And a 72-hour sprint can add, thousands of dollars, depending on your product, thousands of dollars to your Q4 total.
I think I would add to that too.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Working
on my time.
Make my own too.
That's right.
When it's sure say amen. Yeah, you never know when he's coming in with something. So you got to kind of hit the time lock.
I think I would add to that too is this is a great opportunity to make noise. So every time somebody does something that you've got that should be recognized, recognize on your Slack, in your email, in a text chain, whatever that is. Just got a new deal. Deals build deals.
Right.
Momentum builds on momentum. So every time, if when you take advantage of this or embrace this 72-hour challenge, recognize the activities that you are focusing on in this challenge when they happen.
I like it. Well, we're going to leave it there as part 1 as we talk about closing out a Q4. I think you've got some good food for thought there, some things to think about. Yeah. I think you want to also thank our sponsors again.
Yeah, I think we should, before we wrap up, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Pecan Jacks Ice Cream and Candy Kitchen, one of the fastest growing dessert franchises in America.
That's right.
If you're ready to do what Cory said earlier and start a new year owning a business that's all about joy, community, and handcrafted indulgence, check out pecanjacksfranchise.com and learn how you can bring a scoop of success to your city.
I had some yesterday. It's delicious.
Yes, it is. I've had some too.
Had the brittle.
Brittle's fabulous.
Yeah. What have you had? Have you had
the brittle? I haven't had the ice cream because I've had the brittle.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah.
It's sponsors. We'll eat ice cream on air.
There we go. We may have to do a taste test, right? A flavor profile.
We're going to do that. There's a couple things going to happen. Well, folks, listen, we appreciate your listenership. We're thankful. We're back in the saddle, rocking and rolling, and we're going to help you finish this year strong. LG, what's your old closing line there?
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
And next time, bring a friend.
That's right. You bring a friend. This has been another episode of the Grow Business Podcast. I'm Cory Mosley on behalf of myself, LG007, and Willie H. We'll see you next time. Willie H., take us out.
Back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle.
Good stuff.
Part 1.
Yeah. That's good. And then you think about, wow. Business is